We're with Adam Feldman. Adam is a criminal defense attorney in Phoenix, Arizona, and he's agreed to answer some questions directly related to domestic violence. Let's go ahead and get into the first question. The first one that was posted was, how many domestic violence cases have you personally handled?
It's a tough question to answer. Over the years, I've been doing this 10 years, hundreds. They're pretty common cases to handle. Domestic violence, they're abbreviated DV cases, kind of range from what you would think of assaults and more serious crimes such as kidnapping, and there are sexual assaults, there are homicides, and I've represented all of these cases as domestic violence cases. But then there's the lower end of these, which I've represented them as well, from interference with judicial process, which is it's another word for basically violating a restraining order, harassment, simple assault, even basically destruction of property or disorderly conduct. Those can all be domestic violence cases as well. So over the years, hundreds of these cases I've handled and done so quite successfully.
Okay. Next question actually touches on those specific topics. I'm being charged with criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and harassment. Some of the charges were initiated by my wife, but she is willing to drop all charges. What do you suggest?
You still need to call an attorney. Here's the tough reality of this situation. There's this idea that things went crazy one night, whatever. Maybe it's her fault, maybe it's your fault, or maybe it's something in between, but cops got called, and now there's this prosecution going on. And the misconception is that the alleged victim can simply call up the prosecutor's office, call up the police department, and just wipe these charges out. And unfortunately, it's just not true. The prosecutor 99% of the time is going to pat the alleged victim on the head and basically say, hey, we got it from here, and they think they're doing you a favor. And so you need to call an attorney, because really the typical restrictions are that you're not allowed to have contact with whoever the other person is. Typically it's husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, things like that. And you guys aren't supposed to have contact. Those are typical release conditions. So you need the attorney to kind of get in the middle and to communicate these things to the prosecutor, because the prosecutor is not going to dismiss these cases on his or her own.
Okay, this next question I think you just answered, but we'll go ahead and ask it because it was posted. My husband's in jail for domestic violence. I was the one who called the police, but I didn't expect it to become so serious. Is there anything I can do?
Yes, you can do exactly what you're doing. You need to do the research, you need to contact the attorney, and you need to hire a professional to deal with it. Your situation is super common. A lot of times there are spouses who are just trying to scare the other spouse, or trying to, put out a message saying, hey, what you're doing is wrong, and I'm going to call the cops, and I called the cops. But what they don't understand are the implications. If this is, more often than not, it's not a slap on the wrist. It's not as if the prosecutor is going to say, hey, don't do this again. Once it ends up with the police and the police send it over to the city or the state, your hands are tied. There's literally nothing you can do to stop this train. And without the assistance of a professional, without the assistance of a criminal defense attorney, these prosecutors are going to run all over you. That's really what's going to happen. So your loved one sitting in jail, and you didn't mean for that to happen. You wanted to send a message, and now he's sitting in jail. Really, the best way to help is to call an attorney, because there are a ton of things that we can do. We contact the prosecutor. We let them know your position. We use a quite forceful hand in telling them, look, you don't have a case. You don't have cooperative victims. You don't have cooperative witnesses. And moving forward with this case, you might be doing so in bad faith. And these are things that prosecutors are more receptive to, as opposed to a family member calling up and saying, hey, I don't want to prosecute this anymore. So to answer your question, what do? Call me, or you call a defense attorney as soon as possible.
Okay. Next question is, my son is being charged with what I think is called child endangerment. Do I need a family lawyer to make sure he doesn't lose his kids, or is this something you can help with? he is currently in jail and hasn't been bailed out yet?
Odds are you are going to need both. And that's just the fact of it. There are a lot of cases that I deal with where the interplay between CPS, Child Protective Services, and the criminal justice system they're really hand in hand. The state's basically saying that there's something he did that endangered his child. The state is going to come in totally separate. We're not talking criminal now. They're going to remove the children if they haven't done already, or they're at least going to initiate some sort of investigation. And he needs protection on two different levels. And so do you, quite frankly, because perhaps they are going to take the children away from him. And maybe even with the assistance of an attorney, there's nothing he can do about it. But at least if you have that attorney in place on the family side, then maybe the children can be awarded to you while he's working out whatever he needs to work out. And we see that all the time where grandma gets the children, or mother gets the children, or an aunt gets the children while my client is dealing with the criminal case. So really you need to call two attorneys, me being for the criminal defense, and then I can certainly direct you as far as the other attorneys you would need.
Okay, and the final question was, I'm facing a domestic violence charge and want to know my next step. If I call your office and schedule an appointment, will I meet with you? Will there be a fee?
So it's a good question. The first answer is no, there's never a fee to meet with me. All consultations are free, but the key question you asked is, am I going to meet with you? A lot of times you're going to see these law firms that are advertised, and the name on the law firm or the picture on the billboard, you are never going to meet that attorney. When I started my law firm, I did it in a way to avoid any of that, because if you go to a doctor, you want to be treated by that doctor. Really, it should be like that in any profession. So with my law firm, you come in, you speak with me. You're not speaking with a paralegal. You're not speaking with an associate attorney. You're not speaking with a law clerk. You are sitting down with the attorney, me, who will be handling your case. And then to take that one step further, a lot of law firms out there, yeah, you might even meet with the attorney, but you'll never have that attorney working on your case. And that's certainly not the situation here. You sit down with me, the consultation is with me. We're the ones who talk about your case. I'm the one who deals with the client. I'm the one who's at court every time. And so you've got me from the beginning to end, and that's really how I run my law firm.
Excellent. Well, if you have any additional questions for Adam, all you need to do is post them in the comments section below. He's agreed to answer those questions. With that said, Adam, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Ryan. And I mean, these are great questions you're asking, and you're on the right track. You need to continue with these questions. And if you do have any questions, like I said, any additional questions, the consultation's free. We can meet in the office. We can talk over the phone. Go via email, whatever you need. My telephone number is listed below, 602-540-7887. Feel free to call me anytime. Thanks a lot.
Excellent. Thanks, Adam.